on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports like football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about all the successes of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams online at curry.edu. Back at Red Wilson Field, we're starting the 8th inning of play here in the deciding Game 3, and we are tied at 5. Does not get more exciting than this. Brewster will have Datris, Bishop, and Coons due up against the flame-throwing righty Riley McCauley. And the first pitch is hit high in the air, out to center field. Moving back is Isbell. He's turning, he's looking, and that one is out of here. Kyle Datris, on the first pitch he sees, takes a hanging breaking ball from Riley McCauley and sends it over the left center field wall. And Brewster has come back to take the lead in this ball game. It's 6-5 Whitecaps in the 8th.
Kyle Datris, off the best reliever in the Cape League, puts the Whitecaps up in the 8th inning. What a shot to left field. This Whitecaps team, they love the underdog mentality. They love being called the underdog. They are never out of any game. They've proved that this year, mostly against the Harwich Mariners, but here against the Whitey Red Sox. If you remember correctly, the first time they played them here, down 7-1, they came back and tied at 7-7.
Here's Hunter Bishop, and he takes a pitch up on a fastball from McCauley, and the count is 1-0. We saw Riley McCauley start off the at-bat with his first batter that he faced, Michael Curry, in the 7th. Started off with a couple of off-speed pitches, did the same thing with Datris, and clearly Datris was watching because he was waiting for it. 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air off the bat of Bishop. This is playable, though, for the center fielder. Isbell, he's underneath it, and he makes the catch for out number 1 here in the top of the 8th. It's now 6-5, Whitecaps on top here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, one of the most dramatic baseball games you'll ever see. Brewster is on top in this deciding Game 3, but still a lot of baseball left for the Whitecaps, and certainly some insurance runs would be welcome for Brewster. We do have a pinch hitter to tell you about now, as Zach Gahagan is hitting for Justin Coons here with 1 man out and nobody on. So Zach Gahagan digging in from the right side with A.J. Graffinino on deck for the Whitecaps. Righty to righty, here comes the pitch from McCauley. It's up and away. 1-0 the count on Zach Gahagan. Gahagan got the start at first base in Game 1 of this series. That was here in Yarmouth. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It misses up high to make the count 2 balls and no strikes. Gahagan in that ball game batted 9th for Brewster, reached base 3 times in 4 plate appearances, including 1 hit, an infield single. The count is 2-0. Brewster is up 6-5 in this game. A home run from Kyle Datris, the difference in the ball game right now. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. In there for a called strike at the knees. So it's 2-1 now on Gahagan. That was a big pitch there for McCauley to try and keep this at bat from getting away from him. The wind is picking up. The rain is letting up just a little bit, but still wet weather here for the ball players and for us sitting watching the ball game. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Gahagan. It's a high chopper right side, fielded by the first baseman Rivas. He trots to the bag himself for the second out.
The shortstop from Washington, number 6, A.J.
And now it is A.J. Graffinino's turn for the Brewster Whitecaps after the ground ball from Gehagen. Graffinino, a left-handed hitter, so far for him today, has reached base once. It was via a second-inning walk. Here comes the pitch. It's in there for a called strike on the outer edge. Made the count 0-1. Graffinino turned his head away from Mark Chamberlain behind the plate there after he got word of that call. So waiting on an 0-1 pitch now from Riley McCauley, the righty out of Michigan State. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Graffinino chasing a fastball up either in the zone or above it, and the count is 0-2 on the shortstop out of Washington. Graffinino with the walk, a strikeout, and was robbed of a hit his last time up on a terrific leaping catch from the second baseman Nico Horner. 0-2 pitch, shows bunt, and takes the pitch low, just low on the fastball. Kind of unusual to see someone show bunt on an 0-2 pitch, but Graffinino did bluff it there. So it's 1-2 on A.J. Graffinino. Whitecaps ahead 6-5 here in the top of the 8th inning in this deciding Game 3 in the first round of the Eastern Division playoffs here on the Cape. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's hit high in the air into left field. Moving back is a left fielder, Cortez, as the wind begins to take this one, but Cortez does make the grab, heading back a couple more steps, and that retires the side. But Brewster has the lead on a solo home run from Kyle Datris to lead off this 8th inning, and it looks like Zach Schneider is coming back out on the mound to pitch the 8th inning for the Brewster Whitecaps, or at least the first part of it. At the end of 7.5 innings of play, the Whitecaps are ahead 6-5. You're listening to Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, Massachusetts. It's going to be Cortez, Rivas, and Ferris in imposing three hitters due up, 3, 4, and 5 for YD here in the bottom of the 8th inning. If you just joined us, you've missed a lot, but you're still in time for the conclusion of this game. The Whitecaps are ahead 6-5. Solo home runs from Costas and Datris, tacking on those last 2 runs in the 7th and 8th innings, respectively. The first pitch is a breaking ball strike from Zach Schneider. What else is new? To Carlos Cortez. That breaking ball has been dynamite for Schneider so far as Mickey Gasper goes out to talk to him. Mickey Gasper has donned his catcher's gear. He is now behind the plate for the Whitecaps. Zach Gehagen, who pinch hit for Justin Coons, is now at first base, replacing Gasper at that position. That gets you caught up with the defensive adjustments for Brewster after the pinch hit appearance there from Gehagen. 0-1 pitches it hard on the ground to first base. Gehagen fields it nicely against his body and trots to the bag for the out. He high-fives Schneider, who was right there at first base with him, and the out is recorded. Out number 1. Nice play from Gehagen on a tricky hop.
I was going to say, welcome to first base, Zach Gehagen. You come right into the game as a as a pinch hitter, but then you take over at first base as Gasper moved behind the plate like you're talking about, Carter. And the first play, a hard-hit grounder right to you off the bat of Carlos Cortez. Welcome, waking up Zach Gehagen if he wasn't ready to go already.
So now it's Alfonso Rivas' turn. This YD lineup is well suited to a comeback in that they're all very balanced in terms of up and down the lineup, guys that can hit. Pitch to lefty Rivas is an off-speed pitch that misses outside. And the count 1-0 on the Arizona Wildcat. Rivas has 1 hit to his name today in 3 at-bats. It was a single in the 4th. Was later doubled off. That was back when Paulie Milto was on the mound for Brewster. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fouled away toward the left side and right into the people out there. Got to keep your heads up if you're sitting out there here in Yarmouth. Count is 1-1 on Alfonso Rivas. The Whitecaps lead this game by a score of 6-5. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. YD took a 5-3 advantage in the 5th, trying to retake the lead here, or at least tie the score here in the bottom of inning number 8. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. That was an off-speed pitch. Wound up running out to the letters. For Zach Schneider, a side armor, you can do that. You can throw a pitch that almost has a little bit of rise to it. Staring in is Schneider. Now he comes to that waggling set of his. 1-2 pitch. A high chopper foul, right side. Just fighting that one off was Rivas. That was a good pitch from Schneider, and a good job by Rivas to spoil the thing and stay alive. 1-2 the count on Alfonso Rivas. Brewster got their first playoff win since 2011 yesterday, trying to add to that in this ball game. All the history in this series, it all goes in favor of the home team here tonight. 1-2 pitches grounded foul toward the Whitecaps dugout on the first base side. YD, of course, the 3-time defending champs. Brewster just won championship back in 2000, and they haven't won a playoff series since then. The Whitecaps trying to get their first playoff series win in the new millennium, if you're going by the strictly scientific definition, in that it begins in 2001. In any case, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Misses up high and away on a fastball from Schneider. And the count is 2-2. Gasper had to get out of his crouch and reach over to glove that one. So it's even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Alfonso Rivas. It's 6-5 Whitecaps, bottom of the 8th. Schneider comes set. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled away toward the left side. What an at-bat here from Alfonso Rivas, doing a terrific job.
I'd say this is just an excellent at-bat from Alfonso Rivas, doing a great job staying alive, spoiling these breaking balls that Schneider has had an incredible amount of success against this YD order with already.
So it's still 2-2 on Rivas. Schneider gets the sign he likes from Mickey Gasper behind the plate. Here comes the 2-2. Misses down and away. That was a breaking ball, trying to get Rivas to chase. No dice for Schneider. And so the count is full. Give credit to the fans here in Yarmouth. This has not been a good day for baseball weather-wise, and they have stuck around. There are still a ton of folks here at the ballpark. The rain has let up, but it's still very dark with the clouds, and now we're losing some light. 3-2 pitch is fouled away left side, and we will do it again. A terrific battle brewing here between Schneider and Rivas. And if anything, even if Rivas isn't successful in getting on, you have to think he's doing a little bit to make Jamie Shevchik's life more difficult in terms of trying to see when the next guy has to come out from the bullpen, as Schneider, after coming out and throwing 2 wild pitches to start things off and allowing 4 inherited runners to score in that 5th inning, has been locked in. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It was up above the zone, and Rivas chased it. And Schneider wins the battle, gets strikeout number 5 for him in the ballgame.
Typically, on a long at-bat, you see it's the hitter making the pitcher work, and then the pitcher makes a mistake and the hitter capitalizes. Typically, on a long the longer the at-bat goes, the hitter has a more and more likely chance of winning it. There, Schneider fools him up in the zone. That's unlike what we've seen from Zach Schneider today. He's typically been throwing that off-speed pitch downstairs. You're trying to get hitters to chase in the dirt. There, gets Rivas fooled up in the zone. And again, you mentioned 5 strikeouts for Zach Schneider.
Here is Carter Ferris digging in from the right side. The pitch is cut on and missed on a breaking ball, eliciting some oohs and ahs from the crowd. 0-1 is the count. You're right, but it's kind of risky business, going back to the previous at-bat, to throw something up in the zone, but Schneider clearly confident in his stuff right now, able to execute the pitch well. And the count is 0-1 on Ferris. It's 6-5 Whitecaps, bottom of the 8th, here in this deciding Game 3. 0-1 pitch. Misses low. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Ferris. Ferris so far today is 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a double play ground ball, looking to make that box score look better here. Such a tense last few innings here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike at the knees. Ferris wasn't a fan of the call. A terrific frame behind the plate from the catcher Mickey Gasper to yank that one into the zone. And Mark Chamberlain gives the strike. So it's 1-2. Schneider a strike away from finishing what would be his 4th inning of work here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-2 is the count on the righty, Carter Ferris. Ferris digs in. Schneider staring in. Gets the sign. Now comes set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses low. A terrific take from Carter Ferris. That was the pitch that Schneider was looking for.
Yes, that's exactly what I'd go to if I'm Zach Schneider. He's fooled Ferris on that in this at bat, and then also struck him out on it in the first time these two faced off. So ahead in the count 1-2. That pitch should have been nowhere near the zone, and it wasn't. Tried to get him chased down and away. That's a good miss from Zach Schneider.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground through the middle, and it's going to be fielded moving to his right. Bobbles it a bit. Does the second baseman done? He throws to Gahagan at first for the out, and that retires the side. Nicely done by Nick Dunn. For a moment, he lost the baseball, but he kept it in front of him. It hit his body, and he was still able to make the play. It's a 1-2-3 8th inning for Zach Schneider. He does not give up a hit in his final 3 innings of work. At the end of 8, it's 6-5 Whitecaps here in Game 3. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field. Brewster looking for what would be some very important insurance runs in this deciding Game 3. The top of the order due up with the Whitecaps ahead 6-5 here in the top of the 9th inning. Riley McCauley deals to Nick Dunn, and the pitch to the lefty hitter is high and tight to make the count 1-0. Nick Dunn has had an excellent day. 2 doubles for him. Also scored a run on a wild pitch in the 7th. That was the run that made it a 1-run deficit for Brewster before Marty Costas' solo home run tied the score in that 7th frame. 1-0 pitch. Misses again, so it's 2-0 now on Nick Dunn. Kyle Datris right now, his home run is the difference. That solo shot in the 8th. McCauley pitching out of the stretch even though there's nobody on. 2-0 pitch. In there for a called strike at the knees to make the count 2-1. Seems like that low strike, Mark Chamberlain's been willing to give that a couple of times. Saw it in the last half inning as well, when it was YD digging in. Waiting on a 2-1 offering from Riley McCauley. Here it comes. A fastball misses. Count is 3-1. Not sure exactly where that missed. The fans here at Red Wilson Field starting to shout at the umpire. A few umpires in the stands here at this ball game. 3-1 is the count on Nick Dunn. McCauley comes set, takes a deep breath and deals. Fastball in there for a strike. Looked like that was on the inner half. So the count is full on Nick Dunn, who so far has had a very patient at-bat here at the plate for the Whitecaps. Chandler Taylor is on deck for Brewster. Nick Dunn trying to give him a base runner to work with. 3-2 the count on the man from Maryland. Here comes the pitch. It's fouled away toward the left side. We've seen a lot of foul balls out there. We've seen a lot of lefty hitters in the lineup for both teams and some hard-throwing pitchers, and that kind of adds up to a lot of foul balls over toward the left side.
Some hard-throwing pitchers and then Zach Schneider.
3-2 the count. McCauley is ready. Staring in the pitch. It's hit high in the air to left field. Moving back is Carlos Cortez. Still heading back. He's under it, and he makes the catch. Tattooed that ball, did Nick Dunn, but it didn't quite get up high enough. and Cortez was right where he needed to be, so that is out number 1 of the 9th.
Well, you talked about the need for insurance runs, or certainly the desire for insurance runs here in the top of the 9th, and this is the part of the order that's going to do it. This top of this Brewster order has been incredibly productive, so not just in this series, but throughout the entire season. The Nick Dunns and the Mickey Gaspers and the Chandler Taylors of the world have really been the primary offensive producers for this Whitecaps team all season.
The pitch to the lefty, Chandler Taylor is hit hard on the ground, first base side, it goes foul. The count is 0-1 on Chandler Taylor. Taylor is going to ask for a new bat. It looked like that might have splintered just a little bit, so he heads into the dugout. Still waiting for his first hit is Chandler Taylor, though he did walk and later come in to score in the 3rd inning.
Give him the Savoy special.
That's right. That's the bad boy gives him Savoy special.
The Savoy special. Get the lights in Orleans.
0-1 the count on Chandler Taylor as he strolls back in. The winner of this ball game will face the winner of the Firebirds Anglers game, which is in progress right now. That game time was bumped up because of the impending weather. 0-1 is the count on the lefty Chandler Taylor. The pitch misses up high, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. A high fastball there from Riley McCauley, and a nice job by Chandler Taylor to lay off that pitch. With the count 1 ball and 1 strike now. McCauley comes set once more. It's 6-5 Whitecaps top 9. 1-1 pitch, misses low. To make the count 2-1. Again, a couple of not so nice words from the left side of the field where the YD diehards are seated. Directed at home plate umpire Mark Chamberlain, but in any case, it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Chandler Taylor. Here comes the pitch. It misses outside, so it's 3-1 now on Taylor.
Taylor showing a really good eye up the plate here in this at-bat against a very tough arm in McCauley. We've seen him strike out twice today looking. He's really been laying off some close pitches.
3-1 pitch to Taylor is foul back to the screen. That was his pitch, and he knew it. He took a hard swing at it and just barely got a piece, and it fouled straight back behind him. You know, when both bat boys converge and meet at the midpoint, you know, it was right back to behind the home plate, which means he timed it well, but just got underneath it just a little bit, so Chandler Taylor is facing a 3-2 count. Boy, if I had a nickel for every 3-2 count, what we've seen in this ball game, I'd have enough for a snack. 3-2 pitch misses low, ball 4. Chandler Taylor is aboard first base for the Brewster Whitecaps, and now it's Gasper's turn. Whitecaps ahead 6-5, top of the 9th.
What a great at-bat from Chandler Taylor there with 1 out to work that walk against, like I said, a very tough arm. And that's how it always seems like these Whitecaps big innings start, or when they score runs, it almost always has a walk involved somewhere along the line. Obviously, their 2-run 7th was just a double, then came in scoring a wild pitch, then a home run. But still, if you look at the overall sample size, it's almost always there's a walk involved.
The pitch to Gasper misses up. Gasper is hitting from the left side once again. He's gone. Started from the left side, then moved to the right side, then back to the left side again with the lefty Brendan Nail sandwiched by a few righty pitchers. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Gasper. It's a off-speed pitch that misses up high, so it's 2-0. Gasper so far today has yet to record a hit, though he, like Chandler Taylor, walked and scored in the 3rd. Last time up at a high fly ball that pushed the center fielder Isbell all the way back to the warning track. 2-0 the pitch. Here it comes. It's in there for a called strike at the knees. Counts 2-1. And a mock cheer coming from the YD faithful for the strike call from Mark Chamberlain. It does seem like the high strike, Chamberlain has sided with the hitters, and the low strike he's sided with the pitchers, at least in these past few frames for Mark Chamberlain. Taylor on first base. He's going for second. He got a great jump. The pitch is up high, and Taylor slides in without a throw. In fact, he didn't slide at all. Chandler Taylor got a tremendous jump. Riley McCauley was not paying attention to him at first base, and now a very important insurance run is in scoring position for the Whitecaps.
And Chandler Taylor, like you mentioned, just a great jump. Completely caught McCauley napping. He had 8 stolen bases in the regular season. People look at him as just this big, huge, powerful left-handed bat, and he's got good speed on the base bats. He was tied for the team lead with those 8 stolen bases.
So here is Mickey Gasper. 3-1 the count. Whitecaps ahead 6-5, top of the ninth, and now McCauley will step off and stare Chandler Taylor back to the bag, as Chandler Taylor has clearly caught McCauley's attention. 3 balls and 1 strike the count on Mickey Gasper. That's the first stolen base of the playoffs for Chandler Taylor. As you mentioned, Aiden, he had 8 and 13 tries in the regular season. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. That was on the outer half of the plate at the knees. Well located there from Riley McCauley. He got the call. A nice frame behind the plate from Martin. So it's full again on Mickey Gasper. 3 hitters and 3 3-2 counts in this top of the 9th inning. McCauley stares in. Now he gets the sign and comes set. Taylor on second base with 1 man out. Here comes the pitch. It's hit hard through the middle in the center field for a base hit. Chandler Taylor is being waved home from third base. The throw from Isbell coming in from center field, and it is not in time. Safe at the plate is Chandler Taylor. And the Whitecaps extend their lead to 7-5 here in the 9th on another clutch hit from Mickey Gasper.
Well, one, yes, Mickey Gasper is as clutch as they come, except for maybe the guy stepping into the box now, Marty Costas. But that's where that huge stolen base from Chandler Taylor comes through. That heads-up base running by CT to recognize McCauley was sleeping, takes second, and there a base hit puts the Whitecaps up 7-5. That is a huge insurance run.
4 runs batted in for Mickey Gasper in these playoffs now. With that RBI single, he moves to second base on the throw. So a runner in scoring position again for the man of the hour, Marty Costas, or one of the men of the hour. This has been another great day up and down the lineup for the Brewster Whitecaps. It seems like this offense has started clicking right when it needed to in these playoffs. The pitch to Costas skips in front of the plate. Terrific block from Martin behind the plate. Just pushed that one in front of him with his chest protector. Looked like he might have been crossed up, and he will go out to have a chat with Riley McCauley. There is some action. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. That's Michael Casala is out there. He's doing some soft tossing and starting to get loose for YD. He's a two-way player, which was what confused me. But he is out there in the bullpen right now for YD. Not really throwing out the mound yet, but starting to get his arm loose. So something to keep an eye on with McCauley still on the mound. It's 7-5. Brewster is ahead. We're in the top of inning number 9. If you're wondering, it's Miller, Kaiser, and Mendoza due up for YD in the bottom of the 9th inning. Those are the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, though I wouldn't put it past Scott Pickler to send a pinch hitter up in that situation. 1-0 the count. Marty Costas digging in from the right side. McCauley checks the runner Gasper at second base. Checks him one more time. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It misses low. So it's 2-0. Sure seems like Riley McCauley has not been able to get the life on the fastball that he usually has been throwing a lot more breaking pitches than we've seen from him, perhaps because of that. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes on Costas. Here's the pitch to the righty. It's hit high in the air, foul territory, right side out of play. And so it's 2-1 on Costas. On the whole today, for Marty Costas in this ball game, he had a ribby single way back in the 3rd inning. Before that, he walked in the 1st. After the single, he struck out on a fastball, looking. And then that solo home run in the 7th. That tied the game at 5. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball by him. I was talking about the life on the fastball there for McCauley. Showed it there. Getting the swing and miss from Marty Costas. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Marty. Gasper is aboard second base. His RBI single made it 7-5 Whitecaps. That's where we are. We're in the top of the 9th in this deciding Game 3. Brewster trying for their first playoff series win in 17 years in this ballgame. 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed, strike 3. Costas was out in front of it, and that is the second out. Now Michael Curry will get his second at-bat for Brewster.
Well, that's what makes Riley McCauley so tough, is that he can change speeds like that. Took a little bit off that one. That was a strike. You know, it was in the zone. It was certainly a hittable pitch, but had Costas way out in front. Because he throws so hard with a fastball, you have to be ready for that and just kind of jump at everything. But if he takes something off it, like there with Costas, he finds himself out in front.
Just the first strikeout for Riley McCauley since he entered, or excuse me, the second one. Got that strikeout to end the 7th inning. So here is Michael Curry with Gasper on second base and 2 men out. The pitch is cut on and missed, a fastball. Blew it by Michael Curry. Curry was the first batter that that McCauley faced in the ball game. came in the 7th inning after the Costas home run chased Brendan Nail. 0-1 the count on the righty out of Georgia. The pitch misses inside. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. That was another fastball from Riley McCauley, perhaps getting a little bit more confidence in that pitch. They're running out of time to use it here with 2 outs here in the top of inning number 9. 7-5, the Whitecaps are ahead in this critical Game 3. Winner goes to the second round, and a loser is finished. 1-1. Fouls it off, does Curry. He was looking up, thought he got underneath it, and he actually got on top of it and sent it behind the plate. It was a breaking ball. He was way out in front of it. You know, it's interesting, in batting practice today, Michael Curry was practicing hitting when he was out in front of a pitch. He would take right before Will Delgado threw the baseball in, he'd kind of lean in like his timing was off intentionally for the first few pitches of BP. That was that situation, but couldn't quite get some good wood on it. Here comes the 1-2 offering. In there called, strike 3 at the knees. And Michael Curry has 2 strikeouts to his name in this ball game. And the 9th inning, top of the 9th anyway, comes to a close. The Whitecaps get 1 run in the top of the 9th on 1 hit, and they leave 1 runner on. At the end of 8.5 innings of play, the Whitecaps are 3 outs away from the second round of the playoffs. Don't go anywhere. This is Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Well, under this gray sky here in Yarmouth, we are getting ready to start the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Whitecaps are trying to do something they have not done in 17 years as a franchise, and that's win a playoff series. Brewster is ahead 7-5 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Whitecaps getting 4 unanswered runs, the last 3 of which came on a homer from Costas, another homer from Datris, and a ribby single from Mickey Gasper. Those are in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, respectively. Here is Luke Miller leading things off for YD. He has had the best day out of anybody on this YD squad. He's 2 for 3 with a solo homer. That came in the 2nd inning. That made it 1-0 at the time. The YD fans starting up a chance, trying to will their team to a win. It's the bottom of the 9th inning, and Schneider is still on the mound. The side armor deals a breaking ball outside to begin the at-bat for Luke Miller.
And if you remember, Carter, the first time these two faced off back in the 6th inning, he got Miller to pop out the shortstop on that breaking ball. That's what he got him with the first time. I'd assume that's what he's going to try and attack Miller with here in the 9th.
The 1-0 pitch. Hit hard through the middle. It's going to get off the glove of the second baseman, Nick Dunn, and he'll just have to take a bite out of it. Terrific piece of hitting there from Luke Miller. Didn't look like his timing was great on that at-bat either, but he pushed it toward the middle of the field, and Nick Dunn could knock it down, but nothing more. So the leadoff man is on, and the tying run is at the plate for YD.
Yeah, it's certainly, I mean, it's still a slow pitch from Schneider, but it didn't quite have the break and the movement that we had seen in the first few innings, and Miller was able to get a better piece of it, shoot it right back up the middle. Dunn having to range way to his right back up the middle. Again, like you said, got a piece of it, but was able to knock it down, but still, Miller able to reach with a leadoff single.
So here is the righty swinging Connor Kaiser. The pitch is a fastball, misses low. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Connor Kaiser, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in this ball game. That run came in that 4-run 5th inning for the Red Sox. 7-5, Brewster on top, bottom of the 9th in Game 3. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball called strike at the knees. That's right where Zach Schneider likes to see that pitch to make the count 1-1. When Schneider came into this ball game in the 5th inning, his first 2 pitches were wild. He gave up 2 inherited runners to come in and score, but then settled in, and that was the first hit he'd given up since that 5th inning. 1-1 pitch. Just misses off the plate in the judgment of Mark Chamberlain. So it's 2-1. Zach Schneider talking to Mickey Gasper saying, well, where do I need to throw that pitch? And Gasper said, well, maybe a little bit more toward the inner half. Of course, this was all in with their body language. 2-1 is the count. Bottom of the 9th inning, Whitecaps ahead 7-5. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Just over the top of that breaking ball was Connor Kaiser. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the YD shortstop. Schneider takes a deep breath on the mound, now gets in. Staring into Gasper to get the sign. There's a runner on first base. It's Luke Miller with nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th. 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to third base. Datris fields it on the backhand. Nice play. He only got 1 play at first. He throws across the diamond to get the out. A terrific decision there from Kyle Datris. It was a tricky hop, and he had to hesitate for a moment, so he went over to first base knowing that was the tying run he was getting.
Yes, he did. A heads-up play by Kyle Datris at third base. 1, to be able to glove it, but 2, we saw him make a throwing error back in the 7th inning on a throw from third, but there took his time, made sure he had the right grip on the baseball, that he had complete control over it, and delivered a strong, accurate throw to first base to get Kaiser.
Drew Mendoza will come up to hit now for YD. There is some stirring in the dugout. The 9 spot, which is always a revolving door with Scott Pickler, is due up, and we very well may see a pinch hitter in there. In any case, the lefty Mendoza is digging in with a runner on second base and 1 out. The pitch is a breaking ball, cut on and missed. Mendoza out in front of it again. It's worth noting that this is the 2nd time through the lineup, well into the 2nd time through the lineup for Schneider on the mound. Schneider stares in. Gets the sign from the catcher, Mickey Gasper. Runner on second base, 1 out. 7-5, Whitecaps, bottom of the 9th. 0-1 pitch, grounded foul, first base side. Over up against the screen in the Whitecaps dugout. Looks like it's Edward House who has grabbed a bat for YD, one of their newest acquisitions. He has just appeared in 2 games for them toward the end of the regular season. Has not seen any action in the playoffs, but it looks like that's who they'll turn to, barring a double play here with Mendoza at the plate. 0-2 is the count. Zach Schneider, pitching the game of his life right now, is ahead in the count 0-2. He comes set. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another breaking ball fools Drew Mendoza, and the Whitecaps are an out away here in the bottom of the 9th. Edward House will come up to the plate for the Red Sox here, batting for Martin.
That was an unbelievable breaking ball there from Zach Schneider. They're down in the zone. Mendoza, who's a very dangerous hitter. I mean, this is the depth of this YD lineup, is that Drew Mendoza can come in and be the number 8 hitter. That kid was a freshman All-American at Florida State. He's an unbelievable player.
So Edward House, or Eddie as they call him, will dig in from the right side. Runner on second base, 2 out the pitch. In there for a called strike on a breaking ball. That was at the knees on the inner half, and the count is 0-1. We're in the bottom of the 9th. The 3-time defending champion YD Red Sox trailing 7-5 to a team in Brewster that hasn't won a playoff series since 2000. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2, outer corner. The Whitecaps are a strike away. Staring in is Schneider. He gets the sign from Gasper, takes a deep breath. Count is 0-2. Here comes the pitch to House. Misses inside. Oh no, it clipped him. It hit him. Just barely brushed him on a breaking ball. And House advances, and who else but Nico Horner will come up for the YD Red Sox. And now the crowd's starting to get even more into it. Boy, this is the Cape Cod League. This is a laid-back league in terms of the way the fans behave. I don't think I've ever seen a more animated crowd at a ball game. This has been such an exceptional game. And now Jamie Shevchik is coming out of the dugout and strolling up to the mound. He was signaling over to the ump. He hasn't signaled to a pitching change yet. We have seen Jamie Shevchik a lot in this season come out in situations like this with runners on base and talk to his pitcher, talk to his infield, and then leave without taking the baseball. We could see him do that here. To reset the situation for you, Luke Miller is on second base. House is on first base. He is the tying run is House, and the winning run is Nico Horner, who will dig in. Horner has had a terrific game at the plate. Just one hit to show for it, that Ribby single, but has really done a great job approaching at-bats against all the pitchers that the Whitecaps have thrown out. Really just Milto and Schneider in this game for Brewster. Jamie Shevchik still chatting. The home plate ump, Mark Chamberlain, is out there, and Jamie Shevchik will turn around and head back to the dugout without taking the baseball. Schneider will stay in to try and get Nico Horner, one of the toughest outs on the Cape. Now batting for YD. We are in the bottom of the ninth inning. Brewster is ahead 7-5. Miller on second. House on first. Nico Horner at the plate. And Zach Schneider will take the mound after a pep talk from his head coach. Schneider staring in, righty-to-righty matchup. Here comes the pitch to Horner. Breaking ball, strike one. Just looped that one in there to make the count 0-1 on the man from Stanford. Every fan in this ballpark is at the edge of their lawn chair right now. 0-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away toward the left side, and the Whitecaps are a strike away.
That was a nice job there by Schneider with the fastball inside, trying to jam Horner. Now he can go in all sorts of different directions. He's shown him the breaking ball. He's shown him the fastball. 0-2 the count. Schneider is 100% in the driver's seat here. He can go whatever way he feels most comfortable.
Waiting on an 0-2 pitch from Zach Schneider. 7-5, Whitecaps, bottom of the ninth. Brewster trying to go to the second round of the playoffs. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Hit hard to right field. It gets down for a base hit. Heading into third base and being held up there is Luke Miller. So Horner does his job. The bases are now loaded for the two-hitter Kyle Isbell, who already has a game-tying single in this series in Game 1. And we'll see now what Jamie Shevchik chooses to do, and he comes out of a dugout once again. And this time, he will signal for a fresh arm. So everybody here at the field here in YD has a chance to catch their breath here in the bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, deciding game in the playoffs. Whitecaps ahead 7-5. Don't even think about going anywhere. You're listening to Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. We are back here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, and the new arm that Jamie Shevchik has called from the bullpen is Ryan Sear. He was a Mississippi State Bulldog this past spring and will be a Kansas Jayhawk next spring, and he is, again, one of the newer arms on this Whitecaps team. I don't think anybody could have predicted this, that in the ninth inning of a must-win Game 3 in the Cape League playoffs, it will be Schneider and Sear to come in for the Whitecaps, but Jamie Shevchik playing the guys that he trusts. Sear only made 2 appearances in the regular season for the Whitecaps. He made it to the tune of a .450 ERA, just the 1 earned run allowed in those 2 frames. 1 hit, 2 walks, and 2 Ks. And we have another change in the 9-hitter. Christian Koss has pinch run at second base, so the tying run is now Koss at second for YD. That is the 5th batter or runner to occupy the 9 spot for Scott Pickler.
And Koss was third on this Red Sox team with 8 stolen bases this year, trailing only Horner and Isbell. Isbell at the plate, Horner at first base. But there it gives Whitey a little bit more speed on second base, representing the tying run.
And that's the only run that matters right now. 2 outs, bases loaded. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more high-leverage situation as a reliever. You're coming in. It's a must-win Game 3, a deciding game in the playoffs. The bases are loaded. There are 2 men out. You're in the bottom of the 9th, and the 2-hitter for the other side, who had the game-tying single the last time you were at this ballpark, is digging in Kyle Isbell. Isbell is 0 for 4 on the day, and with a big hand from the fans on both sides of a diamond, he will dig in from the left side against the righty Ryan Sear. The runner on third base is Miller. The runner on second base is Koss, and Nico Horner, after singling, is on first base. Here comes the first pitch to Kyle Isbell. It misses down and in. Count is 1-0. Gasper did a nice job to block that one down in near the toes of the lefty Isbell. Sear staring in. Now comes set. With the bases loaded and 2 men out. The pitch is hit high in the air, foul territory behind the plate, out of play, foul. 1-1 the count. Narrowly avoided a car out there in the parking lot. The fans, every single fan at the edge of their seat right now watching this ball game. It's 7-5 on the bottom of the 9th. A trip to the second round on the line. 1-1 the count on Kyle Isbell. Sear comes set. Here comes the 1-1. It skips in front of the plate, again inside, and again nicely blocked by Mickey Gasper. That time he had to use the chest protector to keep the baseball in front of him, and he did so the count is 2-1. Keep in mind there's no place to put Kyle Isbell, and Carlos Cortez, the hero of Game 1, is on deck for YD. 2-1 the count on Isbell. 7-5 Whitecaps, bottom of the 9th. Here comes the pitch from Sear. In there for a called strike on the inside corner. And again, for the second time in this ballgame, the Whitecaps are a strike away. 2-2 the count, with 2 men out and the bases loaded. Bottom of the 9th. Brewster trying to get their first playoff series win since they won it all in 2000. And YD trying to keep the championship streak alive for the 3-time defending champions of the Cape League. All eyes on Ryan Sear as he comes set. 2-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. Misses low. All 3 runners will be going with the count full and 2 men out. The bases are loaded. The merry-go-round will start. Mickey Gasper hollers those very words out to his infield, letting everybody know. The catcher behind the plate. Waiting on a payoff pitch from Ryan Sear to Kyle Isbell. Here comes the 3-2. It misses low for ball 4 and a run scores. YD has cut the lead in half. It's 7-6 as triumphantly Luke Miller stamps on home plate after coming in on the walk. And now Carlos Cortez, the man who won Game 1 on a walk-off 3-run homer here in Yarmouth, will dig in for the Red Sox. Could it be anybody else up in this situation?
No, it could not. This is just the way these things always seem to work, and just the way they always seem to fall. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-run game. And Carlos Cortez digging in from the left side.
The pitch to Cortez. Swing and a miss out in front of it. Way out in front of that one was Carlos Cortez, and Sears ahead in the count. No ball and 1 strike. Koss is now on third base. Horner on second, and Isbell is on first. Whitecaps have been have been 1 strike away twice in this inning. Here in the bottom of the 9th, it's now 7-6. Brewster ahead of YD. Sear comes set once again. 0-1 pitch. Skips behind Gasper. It gets to the backstop. Charging in is Christian Koss. He scores the tying run for the Red Sox on a wild pitch. And we are all even at 7 in the bottom of the 9th. What a ball game. And what a play. Christian Koss pulled in as a pinch runner. You have to give Scott Pickler a ton of credit for putting him into the ball game. He comes in to score on a wild pitch. The runners move up an additional base, so it's 2nd and 3rd, and now Zach Hagan will go and have a chat with the hurler Ryan Sear. This game is tied in the 9th.
Sear's a guy who's got good stuff, but if there's been an issue for him in his career in Mississippi State and here on the Cape in his 2 appearances, it's been control.
So it's 0-1 on Cortez. or 1-1, excuse me, after the wild pitch. Here comes the pitch. Hit on the ground, right side. Gehagen, the first baseman, fields it. He will flip to a covering Ryan Sear, who steps on it, and we are going to extra innings. Free baseball here in Yarmouth in Game 3. Are you not entertained? It's 7-7. 2 runs in the 9th inning for YD. They get those 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 runners on base. At the end of 9, with the light dwindling here in Yarmouth, this game will march on. We're tied at 7 on the Whitecaps radio network. We welcome you back to Yarmouth. We are going to the 10th. This has been a truly remarkable baseball game in every sense. We are tied at 7. For the Whitecaps, it's Kyle Datris leading things off. His home run gave them the lead in the 8th inning. The pitch to the righty is hit high in the air out toward left center field. It's playable for the center fielder Isbell, who calls off Cortez and makes the grab for out number 1 of the 10th. This is the first game all year, regular season or playoffs, for Brewster that has gone beyond 9 innings. They've played 2 extra inning games, but they were both in double headers when they were only supposed to go 7, and they went 8. Brewster lost the first extra inning game in Katuitt by a run, won the second against Bourne on a walk-off home run by Marty Costas. Here is Hunter Bishop. He's sitting from the left side. The pitch from McCauley is in there for a strike. McCauley is still out there for the YD Red Sox. Got to give him credit to battle, and Scott Pickler is certainly asking a lot of him for him to come out in this spot. McCauley holds the set with the count 0-1. Here comes the pitch. It misses low, just a bit low. The new catcher is Mike Casala. Did a great job to try and frame that one. And Christian Cos is at third now for YD. Mendoza has been removed from the game. Casala is hitting in his spot. 1-1 the count on Hunter Bishop. We're in the top of the 10th. 7-7 here in Game 3, and it's getting dark. The 1-1 pitch is hit high in the air, straight up behind the plate. Throwing off the mask is Casala, heading back. He's under it. He makes the play for out number 2. A terrific play on that pop fly from Casala. So after Datris' fly ball to center and a little pop fly to Bishop, quickly, McCauley gets the first 2 outs of his 10th inning. If you're wondering, it would be Rivas, Ferris, and Miller due up for YD in the bottom of inning number 10. It's Zach Gehagen up right now for the Whitecaps with 2 men out.